Good, is it afternoon?
It's afternoon.
It's afternoon, okay. As I started this thing at 7 o'clock this morning. Okay, so what I'm doing is organizing my room. And I got so sick and tired of having big pails of, my paintbrushes and my carving tools. It's just so disorganized. So what I decided to do was I'm going to take these PVC pipes and I cut them about 5 inches long, all right? And I spent the whole morning cutting these, and I have another size, it's this size, that actually are going to hold paint cans. I have them all stacked up and they're all glued together and they're on the shelf. Now what that does is it holds the paint can in place so I can see everything. I can see all my paints, I can see all my supplies, a lot cleaner, a lot easier. It keeps you organized. It clears up a lot of workspace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've been doing. Now this one's done already. I took the base, and the pipes are only glued to the base. And I'm probably going to paint these and color code them. You know, one's for paint, one's for paintbrushes, and the other's for carving tools. So. This way, if I decide I'm going to work with a specific bunch of tools, I can put them in one of these containers, and then just work from that container and put the rest away out of the way. The biggest problem is, organization is everything. It really is. It'll torture you if you're actually trying to work in an environment that's very tight spaced. I have DJing for years, and I've got tons of records that eat up 90% of the space that's in that studio, and the other 10% that I have left I have to use for this business, and believe me, it's not easy. Now what I'm doing right now is you want a clean surface, and this is PVC I bought at the Home Depot. It was a big sheet, 8 foot, I think it's 1/8 inch thick. It might be a 1/4 inch. It looks like 1/8 or 1/4, whatever. I didn't measure it. And it's a big sheet, 8 foot. It's PVC. It actually has a wood grain on the one side, so I'm using the flat side so I can glue these down. But I want a clean surface, and I decided not to use the cleaner because the cleaner seems like it's not cementing the glue as well as it's not cementing well compared to sanding it down. Sanding it down works better. It gives it a little bit more rougher work surface. And because I used the chop saw on this is really rough as it is. I don't have to sand those. I just did them too, so it's not like I have to worry about it, but I want to make sure that this surface is sanded really good and clean. There we go. It doesn't have to be a lot. And this is a really fine sandpaper here. I think I got a 320. I think this is 320. So, just a little wipe down here. Now, instead of gluing this, that would be messy. That we don't want that process. So I'm going to glue the bottom of this, and just a little generous on there. I want it a little gummy. I don't want too much because you don't want it running over. I already cut these pieces to fit exactly 6 of these tubes. It'll hold 6 tubes. And then the reason why I don't want to make it all one big piece is because I can move these around. I can work with just, the 6 at a time. I don't have to, but they can sit right up next to each other. If I want to go the extra mile and break out my router and router around all this, so it's like I'm sorry, I'm not that
Anal retentive?
Yeah, or that, or I was going to say, what's that?
OCD.
OCD. I'm not that OCD. So, although I am OCD on a lot of things, trust me, but not this. Okay, one down. All right, now it takes a few minutes to dry. Usually these things, they grab pretty quick, but I like to go the extra mile and wait a few minutes, especially when I put as much glue as I put on this. Yeah, I used a chop box, by the way, cutting these tubes. I had a jig set up, but for some reason it just wouldn't take. The jig wasn't holding. It kept, if I got a little, I think the saw blade I had was a little dull, so it was grabbing the PVC and made it pretty dangerous. So I was kind of, let's just get through this and we'll rough cut this and we won't have to worry about small details. I knew this was the end piece because it's just a little shorter. It didn't give me quite 10 inches or 10 foot of the pipe. I had 3 10-foot pipes, and some of them, sometimes they don't give you the full length, and then sometimes they give you too much. So you're usually over a 1/4 inch or under a 1/4 inch with the PVC pipe at Home Depot. I guess they got to rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't know. I don't know what the game is there, but if they're worried about a 1/4 inch or 6, I would say about an 1/8 inch. About an 1/8 inch over or under. That's pretty bad. I don't know how somebody can't cut accurate on only a lousy 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch would be almost about the thickness of this wall here. The thickness of the pipe. Okay, next. I'm playing, it's just a short video on if you want to organize, and then what I'll do is once I have everything set up, I'll show you what I did in my studio, and you'll get a general idea of how nice and neat my workstation will be, because it was driving me crazy. I have no room for anything. I can't function in there. It's driving me OCD. That's definitely where it was kicking in.
Question for you.
What's up?
What
There's a question. I love it.
if somebody wanted to maybe put like a name or something like with the PVC that you're using to place that
I'm just going to
like on the side. I'm saying like,
yeah, the hell with the names. I'll just color code everything.
Well,
I'll
no,
paint it.
What I was saying is if somebody wanted to like go along the sides of the pipes, is that a possibility? Like, if somebody
Sure, one letter at a time. You know what's even better? You know what's even better? You can stencil that. You could put a stencil right on each one and make it really neat, and then just make it,
make it your own.
make it your own.
What a trip.
I'd put a stencil on that because I'm just that. I'd be a little anal about how clean I want it to look. If I want to say, let's see, what do we call this? Carving tools. I'd put C-A-R-V. Guess what? I'm running out. I don't have the I-N-G. So, well, whatever. I put 2 letters on each pipe. I don't know what to tell you. Abbreviate everything. So, it's funny. I'm just going to paint them different colors.
Yeah, color code them.
Color code them this way. The reds stay with the reds. The blacks stay with the black, and whatever color I decide to paint them, doesn't matter. Okay, that fits nice. I'm just making sure that I grab the edge on that. And you don't want to stand there too long holding the glue upside down because it'll all run down on your hands. So I don't play around. I get the stuff down. It's YouTube. I can curse a little, I guess, but I don't want to curse. That's just not my way. Off camera, forget it. You don't want to be around me if you don't like cursing. I think we're all kind of like that, aren't we? We all have secrets. Okay, so that's done. That's 6 holders for paintbrushes or carving tools or whatever you want. And the reason why I like it small is because then you can see the carving tools that are in each spot. They're spread out a little bit more. I had them in big cups like this, and they were just piled in. And it was just too. You'd spend 15 minutes trying to find the tool that you were trying to find. So this spreads it out a little bit more, saves you in space. It's a home run. It's a home run. Yeah, I have probably not enough. Yeah, I'm out of these things. I could double. Oh, that's another thing I can do. I could double stack this. Well, that wouldn't do me good, would it?
Yeah.
Cover it. Oh, I can. but I'd have to route out the holes. Yeah, we're good with that. I know what you do. You stack it this way. You can glue another set.
Make them like a step.
And you just cut the pipe longer.
Yeah.
And you bring it up higher. And you can have, you know, high and low. I don't have to be that anal. So that one's done. I've got 2 rows right now. I know what they'll do. This my plan is I'll move that out of the way. And I can just put them along my back wall like that. And whatever I'm, like if I'm working with a sculpture and I only need a certain amount of tools, I can take one of these and just fill that up with what I'm working with and put it right next to me where I'm sculpting. Making this all one big piece would be a big mistake.
Be very heavy.
Well, heavy too, but more or less, you're not as mobile. You want it to be a little bit more mobile. I think I got 7 pieces. Well, how the hell did that happen? I got more over here. Okay. All right, so back to sanding. I don't know if I want to keep videoing this. Because
yeah, I was going to say, we're getting a little bit done.
Now we're repeating what I've already done. But for those out there that feel they need to see it twice, rewind it.
You want to cut it there?
Yeah, cut it off. Thank you, Angelo.